So this is a native drought-tolerant landscape in my front yard that I put in about 12 years ago. The reason I put this in is because I grew up in the Midwest where it rained a lot. And when I moved here and I had a large green lawn that I had to irrigate and deal with sprinklers that weren't working, I wanted to look for something else. So I wanted to get rid of the grass and I wanted to support beneficial insects and native pollinators. I went ahead and did my whole front yard, but really I would recommend by just starting in a corner or along one particular strip. You don't have to take it all on at once. You can pick a small area, pick some flowering plants, make sure you're going to have flower all season long, so look for those that flower in the spring, the summer, and the fall, and that's all you really need to help bring in these pollinators and beneficial insects. With this kind of yard, there's the initial investment of the plants you purchase, but after that there's really no investment in terms of cost. It's a little bit of time. At certain times of the year, I like to do a big spring cleanup to cut out all the old perennial stalks. But then throughout the summer, it's nice because it's one of those yards that I can leave for a week or two and not worry about. Whereas if you have grass, you're going to probably need to hire someone in to come mow it when you're gone. So here's one of our penstemons that the bumblebees really like. Over here is another penstemon. This is one where I really enjoy seeing a lot of the swallowtail butterflies on. It's just starting to bloom. It'll be really showy here in the next couple of weeks. Another Idaho native, this is the fern bush. Not yet in flower. One of my personal favorites, because I love chocolate, is this chocolate flower. It is native to the desert Southwest, so it's very drought tolerant. But as I walk out my front of the house here in the mornings in the summer, I can really smell the aroma of chocolate, so it's a real treat.
We're at Purple Sage Farms, and we worked with NCAP and the Xerces Society to put in a hedgerow for pollinating insects. And we put in around 120 plants, 30 to 35 different species of Rocky Mountain native plants that can tolerate low water. We decided to put it in the middle of the farm. We had this open spot here. This used to be a fence line that we stored equipment on. Like, we would just park all of our equipment and all sorts of junk. Having this group of plants provides a food source for insects that last throughout the year. Different plants bloom at different times of the year, and that means there's always some kind of nectar or pollen source, food source for all sorts of insects. And so the insects nest in sandy, kind of bare soil that's all around the hedgerow, and then their food is right around here. And they feed on, we have a lot of perennial flowering plants also, and so they feed on that, but this is the main food source and home for a lot of those insects. This is the sulfur cinquefoil. It's about to start blooming. We have some weeds here we need to weed. The golden currant finished up and it did pretty good. There's a lot of little green berries on there. Yeah, the sand cherry did get kind of, it's past its prime. This is a rabbit brush.
We are sitting in the Garden City pollinator habitat, and this habitat was conceived, planned, executed, and is maintained by the Chinden Gardeners Club. People donated labor, they donated money, they donated product, and it was through community effort that this got started. We have signs on all of our flowers to tell people how to help pollinators. Look at this little guy, little tiny black bee. People walk by with children, they immediately come in and bring their parents with them. So we have parents and kids reading about bees, how to protect bees, looking in the bee boxes. So it's really important to educate the younger generation and their parents. We need more gardens like this. Our pollinators have lost so much of their natural habitat and their food, and cities have the perfect places to give that back.